what's expected usually around about February, where thousands of school leavers are preparing to begin their post-Matric studies. The Department of Higher Education and Training warning as early as now that learners should be on high alert for bogus colleges. Of course, these unregistered institutions offer targeting matrics during results season, luring them with promises of quick qualifications that are not recognized. Let's bring in now the Deputy Minister of Higher Education, Dr. Mimmy Gondwe. DM, thank you so much for joining us this morning. This is a consistent problem. I don't want to start with the bad news because it's supposed to be an exciting time. We've got thousands of school leavers who are looking forward to the next stage of their lives. But unfortunately, you also have criminal elements that are lurking on the sidelines, hoping to score a quick buck, offering, a top-level education at institutions that are not even recognized.
Good morning again, Griselda, and good morning to your viewers and listeners on SABC. You've invited me to this platform to raise awareness around bogus colleges and private institutions of higher education. So these colleges thrive because they pretend to be legitimate. They also entice or lure desperate students and parents by offering huge discounts, programs or qualifications that appear to be high in demand and can be completed quickly. They also, advertise low entrance requirements. And what's happening now, Griselda, is that some of these colleges or private institutions have an online presence and purport to offer programs or qualifications that are recognized outside of the country. And as you said, this moment, the results have just been released, and our constraints around having 26 public universities and only 50 TVET colleges that can only accommodate so many students. These colleges, these bogus colleges or private institutions of higher education then come in and want to lure and entice, students and parents. But I want to just reiterate that in as much as they are bogus colleges and private institutions of higher education, they're also compliant private colleges and private institutions of higher education. And these compliant ones, they play a very important role in catering for and accommodating students that could not gain admission to our public universities and TVETs. We currently have 146 registered private institutions, enrolling about 30% of all higher education students in the country. So they play a very important role. They're recognized by the Constitution, which guarantees the right of these private institutions, to exist and operate, but within, defined perimeters. So, so we want to really plead with parents and students to say, stay away from the bogus ones. There are a number of risks associated with enrolling with a bogus or illegal college. These include wasted time and resources. You miss out on attaining a recognized qualification and also on getting an employment opportunity. And I just want to also take this time to differentiate between registration and accreditation. Yeah. Registration is within our purview and it's our responsibility as a department, but accreditation of programs and qualification is a responsibility of our quality assurance bodies. So Umalusi, for example, would accredit your college programs, QC2O would accredit your skills development programs, and the Council on Higher Education, your higher certificates, your degrees, and your diplomas. Yeah. And so you can find that sometimes a college is registered, but the programs and the and the qualifications that they're offering are not accredited with our quality assurance body. So we encourage parents and students to do a bit of homework. Yeah. On our website, we keep two
Deputy
registers.
Minister, sorry, Deputy Minister, perhaps I could come in there. Yes. It's not very easy to identify what a legitimate institution looks like, because I think it was just about 4 days ago, you could correct me there if I have the time frame a bit wrong, the minister, issuing a notice to cancel, institutions that many people would have recognized with a registration of Damlin, your City Varsity, and ICES. Where do you even begin to check if an institution is registered. It's not very easy. Once you have a pamphlet, you have a registration number on these pamphlets, and many people are still being duped into registering at these institutions where you walk away with a piece of paper that simply means nothing.
So I was just about to get into how you can verify. On our website, we keep a register of two types of private institutions, private colleges and private institutions of higher education. So you can visit our website, www.dhet.gov.za, and and access that register of the two types of institutions, and that way you're able to check whether the institution you want to enroll in is indeed registered with the department. You can also even call the department. We have a number 0800 87 2222. I also have a help desk in my office, DM's help desk at dhet.gov.za, that you can send an email and we can help you. But there are other ways as well. A legitimate or a registered college, for example, when you get in, as soon as you get into the reception area, the registration certificate and accreditation details of that institution are visible. You're able to see, okay, they're registered, there's a registration certificate. You're able to see these are the programs and the qualifications they're accredited for. Another way you can tell is look at the level of professionalism on the part of the support and teaching staff at the college. You also have a right to request the qualifications and experience of the teaching staff to be able to determine, is this where I want to be? The quality of the contractual agreement that a student or their parent is required to conclude with the institution is also another indicator. You look at whether the agreement, for instance, allows for a refund of the registration fee. Does the institution, for example, have an assessment policy? So the general quality of teaching and learning at the institution is also a very important indicator. You look at things as whether the college has computer labs, conducive lecture rooms, a library. We also encourage learners, students and their parents to not only rely on those indicators, but to do their own bit of homework, their own bit of due diligence. And how do they do that? They can then try and speak to 10 or more learners that have been at that institution or that college to just gauge whether, it's legitimate and whether the processes and systems in place, are up to scratch. You have websites such as Hello Peter, where you can go on to check whether there have been complaints leveled against, a particular institution or a college. And, this little bit of homework, Griselda, can save a learner and his or her parents time, resources, that could have been lost.
And lots of money.
Exactly.
Deputy Minister, thank you very much indeed. And I'm hoping that many people, if you could just repeat that number for us once again. Let me just try to jot that down as well. That number that can be called, 08?
Yes, 0800 87 2222. And our website is www.dhet.gov.za. And then I've got a help desk in my office as well, DM's help desk at dhet.gov.za.
The Deputy Minister of Higher Education and Training, Dr. Mimmy Gondwe, thank you very much indeed. A very important conversation for us to have just ahead of February, where we'll start to see a lot of activity at these institutions of higher learning. And of course, you need to be very careful about where you register some of your children. Make sure that that institution is registered so that you don't go there and waste a number of years, spend lots of money and walk away with a piece of paper that means absolutely nothing. Make sure that you verify with the Department of Higher Education and Training if that institution where you are registering is legitimate before you take out your hard-earned cash.